Okay, guys, it's Scott here for Rebellious Noise. Now I'm with Dan, also from Rebellious Noise. Say hello, Dan.
What up? Hello, Dan.
Nice. Okay, so we are talking FA Cup semi-final. Now, I didn't think I'd still be here, mate. I predicted that we would be going out in the last round. As you can see, Arsenal fan, Dan's a Man United fan. How'd you feel being in the semis, mate?
Well, we just about got there, like you guys, pretty much.
I know, we were a bit
Left
more
it.
convincing than you guys were, I think. I mean, yeah,
Yeah, I
you
mean,
left it real late.
you left it till like the last minute of normal time. We
Yeah,
left it to the last minute of extra time, like,
exactly.
and
Exactly.
first team in history to ever use six subs in a game as well. So
6 subs? Was it
yeah, because
really?
we used five as like the regulation now, and then we used one in extra time as well because you
Oh,
get an extra
okay.
sub in extra time. So
So it took you 6 subs.
six subs.
Was that 120 minutes?
Yep. I think he scored after 118. Old
Well,
slabhead.
well, you got
So
there in the end, mate. And
indeed we did.
we are
Just
both
about.
now up against pretty tasty ties. Um, it's 4 teams that you would imagine would be this far in a competition. I'd say, obviously, 4 of the traditional top 6. So makes sense. We'll get into predicting them, obviously, and talking about our previous predictions, what we got right and what we got wrong. Obviously, I said we wouldn't be making it through, and just happy to be here, basically. Happy to have a seat at the table, then. But
Yeah, you and me both, mate. We both predicted that you guys were going to lose. So
yeah, but you were confident about your own team, but we'll see how that is going forward. But yes, the semis are going to be interesting. First of all, we've got 2 big games
yeah,
that could
indeed.
be finals. But the finals themselves, it brings up so many interesting possibilities as well. Like, we could have a Manchester derby as a final. We could have a London derby as a final. We could have the Banter FC, us versus you, as a final, the Banter FC derby. And we could have the El Clasico derby. So there's a lot of interesting possibilities here for big teams. And, well, let's get into it. What are we thinking about Arsenal versus City, mate? It's Saturday, 7:45, the first one, and for me, good. I just want to get out of the way because, spoiler alert, I don't think Arsenal are going through. Now, if you watch the last one and you watch this one, you think I'm just a pessimistic Arsenal fan. No, I'm not. But the
Realistic.
reason, the reason I was so kind of sure that we'd be going out against Sheffield United is partly because of a Man City thrashing the week before. So I'm just predicting another Man City thrashing here, to be honest. And we picked up form since we went through that round. It actually did build some confidence. Obviously, we beat Norwich 4-0, Wolves 2-0. Then it started dipping. Drawing at Leicester, realism started setting in. Lost to a terrible Tottenham side, and I'm not just saying that to be, out of order to Tottenham fans because I'm an Arsenal fan, but they're not doing good themselves. It's just not been. It's been so up and down. Basically, we're going to end up like a yo-yo club at this rate, and I just going up against City, who themselves, they've had some meaty wins recently. Getting 2-5-0s and a 4-0 over Liverpool. Right, you can say Liverpool stepped off the gas for a bit, but still,
They were hungover, mate.
yeah, hungover. But that's not going to be our excuse. So look, I want to be optimistic, but the days have gone where you think, yeah, but we've got this person to pull it out of the bag. Now, don't get me wrong, we got some stars, and Aubameyang is in form, whereas Lacazette, although he scored that amazing goal against Tottenham, he's not really been in form. Ozil,
That's it, isn't it? Star-wise.
yeah, Ozil don't get a game. He started to
What's
finish
he
on
got
it for
this
a
week?
while.
What's he got?
Oh,
Fractured eyelash or
who knows? Who knows? There's
hair
obviously
out of place?
something going on, but we'll be here all day stressing about that. Well, I'll be stressing about that.
Moolah, that's probably what it is, mate.
Who knows? It's but it's not a great time to be an Arsenal fan. Let's be honest. And as we said in the last round, City probably just want to get a few notches back on their belt. Really, they want to get more silverware. Why would you not? So I really think they're going to go for it. And beat us 3-1 is what I'm saying.
Bloody hell.
Sucks. Mm.
I think they've got a point to prove now. Obviously, with Liverpool winning the league and winning it so comfortably as well.
Mm.
I just think it's like they're going to want to try and get their hands on as much silverware as they can, because it's obviously Liverpool are no longer in that, and you know they're just probably going to look at the FA Cup and the Champions League now as two trophies that they're just going to go all out to try and win.
Yeah,
I think they're pretty much secure with second place in the Premier League as well. So you know they've not really got to worry too much about the league form, and I think this is where like the 5 subs will help a team like City, because you know, they might think, okay, so we can afford to kind of rest like a De Bruyne or, you know, somebody like that, or David Silva or whatever. And they know that, okay, we can bring them on in like the 60th, 70th minute against tired Arsenal defence and just run rings around them kind of thing. But, you know, because, I mean, you look at the Arsenal squad, although like the first 11 could be pretty good, it's like that strength in depth is... You know, it's somewhat lacking. Like there are a lot of youth players in there, and don't get me wrong, they're decent players, but
they're not there yet. And a lot of them, I mean,
exactly.
Martinelli's injured, and Nketiah's still going to be banned anyway for that controversial red card against, what was it, Leicester? Yeah, Leicester.
I think, yeah.
So yeah, it's even if you think, you know what, a bit of magic coming off the bench, you know, a young person taking charge here and really, you know, making a name for themselves. Like, you know, Martinelli had a great goal at Chelsea. Literally,
he looked sharp when he played.
Yeah, and Nketiah did it for us against, I think it was Norwich in the Cup the other year. That's how he came onto the scene. So I don't doubt those players, but the fact is we won't have those players. If we've got any chance, I feel like it's going to start to diminish once it does get to the, you know, like you say, the tactical side of who you can bring on and strength and depth.
I think it's one of them where if you're going to win the game, you kind of got to have it won by about the hour mark, I think, like at least. Like,
and we've just not been good for that this season. Not at all, you know. It's almost like if we let a goal in, we're losing. That's kind of how it's been, you know. Like we'll go 1-0 up, but if they equalise, they're probably going to nick it at the end. And with a team like City, it's not about nicking it at the end. It's about getting their third wrapped up by the 70th minute, you know. So it's just, I don't want to be too negative, you know, like, especially because last time you think, I really thought like we won that, or maybe I can be a bit more positive this time and be like, you know what, yeah, we can turn it on. But City's just a whole different story.
I suppose that it's gone off the days of like the Arsenal of old, where it's like you'd score one and then that was it. It's that 1-0. That was a game over kind of thing. But, you know, I think prediction-wise, I think I can see pretty comfortable for City. I think you're not far wrong. I don't think on the 3-1. All depends on how much work Edison feels like he wants to do. Whether he wants to play as a central midfielder again and get lobbed from 40 yards, like he did.
Yeah, but we'll probably hit the bar if that happened.
Yeah, true. Or it'll be like halfway to like the other side of London.
It depends who shoots it.
Yeah, and obviously they're going to be weird as well, having both semi-finals played in an empty Wembley Stadium as well. That's going to be very strange.
Yeah, I mean, the final, we still don't know. Who knows? Maybe they'll allow some people in for the final still, but it's getting closer and closer. But, yeah, I think football with no fans is strange, but football with no fans and an FA Cup final is going to be really, really weird. But you're right, even the semis is going to be a very strange scenario.
Yeah.
But
I still don't like the whole fact of doing the semis at Wembley. Anyway.
I hate it.
I'm a traditionalist. Like, you know, you've got to, the whole like magic of the FA Cup was earning your spot at Wembley. It's like, I remember the semi-finals, it was always a classic. One would be at Villa Park, one would be at Old Trafford.
Yeah.
You know, and, you know, we know ourselves, like, a couple of great games that we had in, you know, years gone by at Villa Park. You know, you guys had your famous one against Sheffield United with Seaman making that save at Old Trafford. That's what the semi-finals to me are all about. Played in neutral venues. And
given those venues, you know, the amazing stadiums, another bit of life in the season, really, you know. And I think a big one for me is the Millennium Stadium. You know, the fact that the FA Cup final went. Cardiff, the fact that they went there for the FA Cup final. Fans seem to enjoy going there. Obviously, it doesn't matter this year anyway because there's no fans. But I think you're right. We always go back to how it just shouldn't be at Wembley, but I think a big part of it is going to be, like you say, the tactics of the substitutes and things like that, and just the strength and depth, and simply our defence not being able to hold anything out. I think even if we go ahead by 2 goals, I would not be confident in our defence. It's been ropey for years, and everybody knows the problems. So, yeah, it's going to be a bit tough. I mean, kind of like this old Puma badge is. It's folding, and our
Bit
defense is
flimsy.
flimsy and folding. Yeah. I thought I'd wear from another shirt from the FA Cup glory years that we had, and yeah, maybe it'll help. Like maybe the yellow one I wore last time helped, but I can't see it this time around.
Yeah, it's one of them things, you know. It's like it's the FA Cup though. Anything can happen, you know. It's they say the magic of the cup. You know, you guys might get the giant killing. Was it second against what is it 8th, 9th at the moment or something?
10th. We're dropping
10th.
rapidly,
Bloody
mate.
hell. Yeah, so it really could be like mid-table team versus a team fighting to get into. Well, they're in the Champions League. They're definitely going to be in the Champions League now next season. We know that. So
yeah. Just
less said about that, the better.
But, yeah. Okay. All right.
So I think
what's your score prediction actually? Did you say?
So I'll probably go. I'm probably the same as you. I'm probably going to go 3-1. 3-1 Man City.
We'll get the goal that'll give us a little bit of hope, but that'll be it. I'd love to be proven wrong. I absolutely love the FA Cup. I'd love to get to the final, and then I really do think anything could happen. I was really hoping it'd be. I think I said to you while we were watching the games, I text you, and I was like, I wanted to get Man United because I think it would have been a better. I know you guys have been doing better lately, but we're about the same level, us and Chelsea, you know. But then, as far as like it could go either way, and and I was hoping that City and Chelsea would get each other. Chelsea had a good day, knock out City and get Chelsea in the final. That's what I was hoping to get, but annoyingly, we got City in the semi. So anyway, should we move on to your game then?
Move on to the big one, the. Third versus fifth, in it at the moment, or I don't know. It'll probably change again by the time this goes out. We never know.
Exactly.
But so obviously United Chelsea is going to be on the Sunday, 6 p.m. kickoff British time. Obviously different wherever you're watching it, but
at this point I'll be zoned out, mate, because we're out of it. But that's exactly it. That's why I want our game out of the way, because I want to know if it's worth me. If I'm watching you guys the day before, I don't want to be like, so that's who we might have in a final. And then we don't even get there. Do you know what I mean? That's why I want our game done. Put me out my misery. And if it works out, I can now look forward to watching your game and tactically looking at it.
And there's no third or fourth place playoff either.
No, there's not.
But yeah, so United Chelsea, this one's actually quite tough to choose, you know. I mean, obviously we've come back from the restart. We've been flying. Obviously the result against Southampton, you know, losing that goal in the last minute. You know, both of our left backs are injured. We're not sure on how severe they are. Shaw's ankle and Williams getting that nasty cut above his eye. But I mean, it's going to be tough. But I'm thinking pretty much like for the reasons of City, I feel like United could do it with the tactical side of it. Obviously, the front three that Solskjaer's playing at the moment, like the Martial, Rashford and Greenwood, front three, I think he looks like he likes to rotate that in the cup. So he could go with like Igalo through the middle, and then on the wings he'll go with like Dan James and possibly like Lingard or something like that. And so if he starts with them, then you've always got them options of bringing, you know, the other three kind of big hitters, so to speak, off the bench. And, you know, I think obviously I think it's 55 goals or something between the three of them this season, maybe more than that now. So, you know, I think we're a goal threat for definite, but I just, like you guys, I worry for us at the back. You know, I think we are still a little bit fragile in the middle. I think, you know, we still need to find that partner for Maguire, but
I think even with your your recent big hitting results, like was it 3-0 against Brighton, and you think Brighton, you know, 5-2 against Bournemouth, and you think 5, but 2 against Bournemouth. You know what I mean? So it's been a hard one to analyse, and I think Chelsea are the same. I think most teams have really been hard to analyse since the return, you know, because it has been up and down. I mean, Arsenal definitely have been that, but you guys have probably out of those three teams probably done the better. You know, taking away City from this, you guys have probably done the better out of the others left. But but then again, there's, and it's not me just trying to put a thing on it, an asterisk, but like there have been some, like there have been so many games, dodgy VAR calls, dodgy penalty calls, you know, dodgy, and again, and a lot of games that could just be papering over cracks here. And then you got Chelsea, again, they looked like they were doing really well, and then started to stumble themselves. And was it 3-0 to Sheffield United? So,
Yeah.
I mean, Sheffield United are a decent side, but I mean, I thought we were going to lose to them in the last round, you know, but again, it does make this match even harder to call, I think. Ultimately, I think you guys are going to do it because I think you're getting that jammy side back. I really do. People saying, you know, United on their way back. I don't think it's in a talent sense. I think it's in a... No, I'm not being harsh there. I'm saying you're not going to win the Premier League next year is what I'm trying to say. Like, you're not back to having, you know, Scholes and Cantona levels of players. You're back to having...
Do you mean... old
there we go.
King Eric.
You're back to having the Man United that just find the way, you know. And I think you add a little bit more talent. That's why I do think Man United do have potential to grow in the seasons coming ahead. Out of all our teams that have been stuck in limbo, you guys do have potential because you just seem to just pull it out of the bag, and that's happening again lately, you know. So for that, I think you're gonna do it because I think Chelsea are a little bit more shaky at the moment with, you know, not having the experience. But I feel like you guys have kind of played into some good form lately where I feel like if anyone's going to get away with it, you know, and kind of like, even if they didn't play well, because you two are quite even at the moment, but even if you didn't play well, if someone didn't play well and they get through it, it's usually you. So I think you guys are going to do it 2-1, possibly in extra time.
Yeah, see, I think we've got that mentality at the moment of like, you score 3, we'll score 4 kind of thing. And, you know, with this current like United team that, like, if we're going on, say, the first team that he normally puts out, you know, the likes of Rashford, Martial, Greenwood, and then Pogba, Fernandes, you know, you see those players coming at you, like any defence would be like, oh,
Yeah.
and like I said about United, like the Chelsea, it's not like the Chelsea defence of old, you know. It's not like John Terry and, you know, Ricardo Carvalho style Chelsea defence. And, you know, Kepa's obviously had his issues in goal, and, you know, who knows if he's even going to be there next season. But yeah, I honestly, I think we've got enough to beat Chelsea. You know, I think we've beaten them in the league already this season, so we're actually doing pretty good. And you know, when you look at the table, like I looked at the table the other day, and it's like people saying, "Oh, United are having a bad season," but Man City are in second place. We're in, I think, 5th at the moment, and City have lost more games than we have.
Yeah, I don't know if it's still the case now, but about 2 games ago, it was the same with Arsenal. City had lost more games than Arsenal. You know, so it's just we had a lot of terrible draws that shouldn't have happened, especially in that period, that transitional period before Arteta. But yeah, I think you're right. I think it does look like Man United are going to do it over Chelsea. Again, it's not saying that Chelsea couldn't do it. This one's definitely harder to call than the Arsenal one and City one. But
then what's the Arsenal City game now be like? The really like tight, cagey affair.
Yeah, we win 3-2, and you guys lose 4-0 to Chelsea or something mad like that.
Yeah,
who knows?
Something like that. That's the thing as well. It's like you don't know what United are going to show up though. That's the thing. We're a team where we're capable of going out and beating a team 4-0, but then we're also capable of getting smashed 4-0 as well. It just depends what team show up on the day, you know,
which
how we play kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, they should all play the same way, you know, have that United DNA running through them, but it's not like the Man United of old.
It's not always that way, is it? Yeah.
Exactly, you know, and it does all depend on the players that do come in. Just like, you know, if you take out Fernandes out of the team and you bring someone else in, it's like, you know, is Juan Mata, for example, going to have the same influence on a game that Fernandes is going to have? If you take out Matic and Pogba, are Fred and McTominay going to have that same effect as them two? I suppose it all depends, you know, and obviously with the Chelsea team, what team they put out as well, because obviously Frank's favouring some of the younger players. So I think for them, it would be good for them to get to a final, especially with the younger players, and, you know, give them a really good experience of, obviously, they're going to be playing at Wembley. But then even that, playing at Wembley, that big occasion could not necessarily scare some of the younger players, but, they may crumble a little bit under that pressure. Although there's not going to
There's
be
no one there, but
90,000 people.
There still is that pressure to get to a final. There still is that pressure of like association of like looking at it and being like, I'm at Wembley, and knowing the fans watching around the world. It is going to be a big game, a lot of eyes on them, and a rival in recent years as well. So it's this. It is still. There's still going to be a lot of pressure. I think. As far as like who should be, like we talked about in the last round as well, who should be focusing on this the most, and I think you got to remember as well. There's a Europa League place at stake here. Now, obviously, you guys and Chelsea and City, City nailed on. They're in the Champions League next year, but you and Chelsea
definitely are now.
Yeah,
bought their way into
exactly.
it. Yeah.
But you and Chelsea have slipped in and out. Well, more so. Chelsea has started recently to slip, haven't he? So, and you're catching up a bit. But again, like even between Tottenham, Sheffield United, Wolves, Leicester, Arsenal, it's been a crazy restart where
like anyone could have
happened.
finished. Anyone can finish third. Anyone can finish like as low as like 7th or 8th.
And
really.
it's still kind of looking that way. I think Arsenal was the least likely out of all of them now, and Tottenham. But as far as the ones involved, it's still very close for you and Chelsea. And but I think it's more about you guys are focusing on getting Champions League. So that kind of, and we can sneak in the Europa League isn't really a worry. I don't think you're dropping out of the Europe places. If anything, it's a worry that you might not get Champions League. Whereas us, we're probably not getting Europe at all. So I think we need to put everything into this match to get to it. Now, the Europa League thing, I don't want to be in the Europa League. I'm sick and tired of it. I didn't want to be in it the first time, but I thought it was something different. But the fact is,
like your Thursday nights at home, innit?
Yeah,
prefer your Thursday
exactly.
nights to yourself. Put your feet up.
But don't get me wrong, mate. We wouldn't be anything in Champions League. Last few years, Champions League. I've said it before. We didn't belong there anyway. What's the point being in here if we ain't going to do anything?
Bayern Munich's whipping boys. That's pretty much it.
So that wouldn't be worth it anyway. But I want that like the years that Chelsea were out of Europe and they could focus on it. Like the year Leicester won the league, they could focus on it. Do you know what I mean? So there's definitely something in that, but the financial impact is something I think a lot of fans are forgetting about, where it's like, no, but we do need Europa League, because we thought we'd get back to the Champions League with a good enough to be in the Europa League squad. We rebuilt with Lacazette, Aubameyang and all those kind of signings, and it was like, all right, we're nearly there, but it didn't work. That was to get us back into the Champions League. Now we're getting to a stage where we're trying to make sure we stay in Europe, and it's just... it's not a good look. So I think we need to go all guns blazing into this and really, really go for it. But I just think it's too much of an ask for this Arsenal side, unfortunately. But and as far as City, I think you're right. I think they're going to focus on it because they need to kind of show they've done something this year. Obviously, they won the Carabao Cup as well. But what did you think of Pep's quote the other day, where he was putting, finishing second in the league was preferable over winning the FA Cup, which is quite disheartening to hear, because he's someone that we've praised over the years, and on our episodes of Goal Hanging, go back and watch some of those episodes, where we said, look, we really respect that he values all these competitions. He uses them as stepping stones in ways that maybe Tottenham haven't in recent years, in a team that really could have benefited from a few FA Cups here and there. But I think, I don't know if you know the quote, but he basically said, let me quickly read it to you. He said, "We cannot deny that second place target is better than the FA Cup winner, the Carabao Cup winners, or the others, and qualification for Champions League, which all other clubs are fighting for." And then he went on to say, "We were not the best, another team was, but we are better than the other 18 teams." And he was basically saying his target is finish second now. So when I first saw the headline, I thought, oh, what are you dissing the FA Cup for? Like you seem to... Now I'm looking at it thinking, you're just trying to big up being second. You're just trying to say, yeah, but 18 other teams finished behind us. How do you take that?
Well, I take that as if we finish third, then it means that 17 other teams good as us. So.
Exactly, yeah. So that's what I think it is. I think he's just trying to keep it calm, just in case if there is an upset in the FA Cup. And I think he's trying to put a lot of stock in second.
I think it's a backhanded compliment to Liverpool, really, isn't it? As much as I don't want to praise Liverpool, because obviously fierce rivals, the noisy neighbours, obviously only became a team when they had their owners take over. But
Yeah.
you know, it was, for me, it's a really stupid quote. I think, you know, I think especially I think for the other three managers left in the competition, like Arteta, Lampard, and Solskjaer, they're all in pretty much like their first full seasons at the club. Like, I think it's Arteta half a season.
Yeah, half a season. Yeah, not even that.
Yeah, so they're all in pretty much their first season with their club. So I'm thinking for them three, they're probably going to look at this competition and be like, you know what, this is a great chance to, like, you know, put my flag down and win a trophy. You think like Solskjaer and Lampard, one of them's going to get to like their first like major cup final as a manager.
Yeah, at least,
So
yeah.
That's guaranteed.
Exactly, someone, you know, at least, yeah.
That's like part of me. That would be why I'd like Arsenal to get to the final, is because then, you know, you're going to have like a fresh face winning the competition. Whereas, you know, Pep, finishing second. You know, if you'd have said to me at the start of the season, would you want to finish second? I'd be like, I'd bite your hand off to finish second.
Yeah.
But
it's not a trophy.
Man United fan, over the years, second place for Man United was seen as a failure.
Yeah.
And I'm sure with you guys as well. You know,
yeah,
like,
I used to hate coming second. Like, obviously you would, because it means you were so close. But I mean, exactly that. You never thought, oh, Wicked got second this year. Like, the only good thing...
we both obviously the back and forth between both of our teams as well. You know, we had many a season where it was both of us challenging for that 1 and 2 spot.
Yeah, and then even 2 and 3 when Chelsea came along as well. But it's true. I think it's a load of rubbish. I think he is just trying to big up being second just in case something doesn't go well in the FA Cup, and trying to like be like, Liverpool are amazing, but we're still quite good, sort of thing. Second is nothing. Second, the only good second is like when Liverpool came second last year and they were really close and it hurt so bad, but you can go, look how close we are to we genuinely being title contenders, you know, like, so that's the only good second is to build up.
Every year Liverpool finished second was good. It meant they didn't win it.
Okay. But I mean, for them, it's something. It's a stepping stone. It's a genuine next year. But that's all it is. The FA Cup can be a stepping stone for more success, but it's also success. You know.
Okay, so if you turn around to Pep Guardiola and said, okay, so would you want to finish second in the FA Cup? Does that mean that you're still better than like the however many teams came before you?
Yeah.
You know, you were better than all of those other teams, but. You know, there was only one team finished above you, Pep. You know, you sit there, look at your losers medal.
Yeah, no, second is never anything to be. You know what I mean? Well, I'd rather be second than X, Y, Z. I'd rather win. What is it? The FA Vase than come second. Maybe not.
The Emirates Cup.
Trophy, man. Trophies matter. Trophies matter. At the end of the day, you're not going to go, man, that year we came second. That was good. It doesn't matter anymore. Do you know what I mean? After that season, if you don't capitalise on it next year, you never look back and go, remember that time we finished second.
It was like with Roy Keane when he said it to like Jamie Carragher, and he's like, "Oh, we nearly won the league," and he's like, "Well, you don't get a medal for nearly winning the league."
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you know, wow, you finished with 100 points. That doesn't say that on your medal; it just says you won the league.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
He said not that you'd know anyway.
But right, so Ellie, you know, you've got to calm down on those Liverpool jokes now, mate. They've done something. So
yeah, I know. Waited long enough.
But okay, so it's been interesting talking about the FA Cup. Once again,
we ain't even done our score predictions.
Wait, have we not?
No.
All right. Well, I say Man United are going to go 2-1.
I'm going to say 3-1.
Man United, yeah?
Yeah, obviously.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, okay. So it has been good talking about the FA Cup once again. Hopefully, I'm really hoping. I mean, I'll come back to talk about the final regardless, but hopefully there's a bit at stake in it for me as well. But yeah, we'll see. You never know, Dan. It might be a classic final of old, you know, Arsenal versus Man United, but in my eyes, it's probably going to be Man City versus Man United, and it looks like you're agreeing with that. But viewers,
Manchester derby in London, eh?
Manchester derby in London, yeah. Viewers, let us know, what kind of match do you think it's going to be? Is it going to be the London derby, the Banter FC derby, the Manchester derby, or the El Clasico? Let us know in the comments below who you think is going to that final spot at Wembley, and yeah, subscribe. Check out more of our football content, and we'll see you for predictions for the final.
We will indeed.